Show you how to solve a system of equations by substitution when we have a quadratic as one of them. So here I've got y equals x squared minus 2 and y equals negative x. This is the system of equations because there's two of them, and we can find the solutions if they exist of this system. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, y and y are the same, right? So I can say if y is equal to y, then x squared minus 2 is also equal to negative x. Or you could think of that as saying if y is negative x, then I can put this y as negative x. So I can say, you know what, this guy here is negative x. But let's write that more neatly and rewrite it down here as negative x equals x squared minus 2. Now this is an equation with only one variable in it, and we can solve that very easily. So because it's a quadratic, we need to be in quadratic mode and solve it as a quadratic. So set everything to be equal to 0. So I'm going to move this negative x to the other side by adding x to both sides. And so we'll get 0 equals x squared plus x minus 2. And hopefully you can see that this one factors, which is nice because it means it will be easy to solve. And we can factor it, so we've got 0 equals, well, I need things that multiply to make negative 2 and add to make positive 1. And they are x plus 2 and x minus 1. Let's just do a quick mental check. X squared plus 2x minus x, that's minus plus 1x minus 2. Good. Alright, and so our solutions to this equation are going to be x equals negative 2, or x is positive 1, right? What makes x plus 2 0? X has to be negative 2 for this to be 0. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. 1 plus negative 1 is 0, or 1 take away 1 is 0. So these are our two solutions. For x, now you're not done yet because we need to find y as well. It's a pair of solutions. So when x is negative 2, we need to find what y is. So we've got a choice. We can either plug it into the first one or the second one. I think the second one's going to be easier, so let's do that. So if x is negative 2, y is the negative of negative 2, which is positive 2. And when x is 1, y is the negative of 1, which is negative 1. So we have two solution pairs, negative 2, 2, which you sometimes see written as a coordinate, and 1, negative 1. Now we should really check these just to make sure that they work with the other equation, that we haven't made a mistake. So let's do that really quickly over here. If x is negative 2, we want y to be 2. So let's check. Does 2, i.e. y, equal negative 2 squared minus 2? Is that true? Well, let's check. Negative 2 squared is 4 minus 2. Is 2 equal to 4 minus 2? Yeah, that's true. So we're okay for that one. And what about for this one? Is when y is negative 1, we want x to be 1. So is this true? Negative 1 is 1 squared minus 2. Does negative 1 equal 1 minus 2? Well, yes it does, so we're okay with that one as well, and we know we're correct. Now let's just really quickly check graphically that we're right, or at least see what this looks like graphically. So if I go to Desmos and I draw in x squared minus 2, that's this graph right here. This curve is x squared minus 2. This curve is negative x, i.e. y is negative x. And so if I look here, we can find our coordinates that we found. Negative 2, 2, and 1, negative 1 are the intersections, i.e. the solutions. So we know we're good.